We are the ministry of the real truth, and we bring you the real truth in regards to the biblical scriptures, without the hype, the fluff, and the other silly nonsense. It has been suggested to us of late that you can't use the Bible to prove the Bible. Says who? If this statement is proven 100% true, beyond any doubt, we then say that you can use the Bible to prove what it says within its pages. That is an actual record of Hebrew, Israelite, Jewish history, as well as world history from those particular civilizations in those past millenniums, because it does talk about different civilizations and kings and all sorts. So you have to either prove that it is indeed historical evidence, a historical record of past events in long past ancient eras, or you prove it fictitious, disproving all by providing historical evidence that proves itself evident beyond any doubt, established facts, etc., via different genres. It could be archaeology, science, whatever you come up with. And then you put your links to those sources so we can have a look at it, check it out, and then accredit you or acknowledge you for bringing it to us, because we don't know everything, right? And we're interested in these different things, history related, etc., and so forth. But keep in mind that not all history is 100% accurate, that it is a summation or summing up of those histories written, recorded on clay tablets using the ancient Wedge style writing known as cuneiform or as pictographs, a language carved into a stone stele or a monument, written on papyrus, animal hides or skins, leather scrolls, etc., carved into walls, revealed via wall reliefs, carved into giant pillars at Luxor, Saqqara by ancient Egyptian scribes, sculptors, etc. All this is brought to your attention by today's said experts, who have the PhDs and the initials after their names, so they're highly qualified and recognised, but they're not always right. Okay, they can corrupt it, they can twist it for financial gain, they're getting a good profit from doing that and so forth. This is what we found in our research. Often texts are written down, copied by bored, tired, nodding off scribes and monks, and may be copied wrong, accidentally or even intentionally. They may copy something once and then copy that again and don't realise it. Translators with a hidden motive, or elites, the heads of any religion, the churches, etc., the powers behind it all, could maliciously corrupt all deliberately, as we stated, because they're getting paid quite a high amount of money to do that. It's fact, we've found it online through the different websites, etc., the information and so forth. Scribes, monks may have copied text wrong, smudged ink. Yeah. The words may have faded over time, being hidden in caves. Bugs might have ate them, ate through the leather, through the animal skins, etc., etc. Someone might have destroyed the steles and all that sort of stuff. Words may be found to have several meanings, so these translators, these theologians, etc., aren't too sure which one it's actually using. They could be faded on leather over centuries and so on. So let's go right back as far as we can to the oldest known biblical manuscripts preserved in the original ancient languages, no longer spoken. These are dead languages, no longer written. That somebody, a trusted translator, without the prejudice, the bias, the common traits of a translator, uses, right? So hopefully it's a translation into the nearest English equivalent without the bias, prejudice, omitting, editing, constant revisions, contradictions, deliberate corruptions of the text, etc. We know of one such like that, Victor N. Alexander. Here is his translation project. He translated the original Galilean Aramaic New Testament manuscripts, hidden and preserved by the Apostolic Church of the East. They hid them from the Emperor Constantine. They wanted to get hold of them, destroy them, because they contained what Christ actually said, as witnessed and written down by his disciples. And he wanted to have this mother church, everyone underneath that church. So he invades other locations and says to these people, or as people say to those people, right, join us, come under our church, our authority, or else we'll put you to the sword, we'll burn you at the stake, all that sort of stuff, right? And if they refused, well, that's what they did. Then they confiscated their property, their texts, their writings, etc. They either burned them or carried them off. And those are possibly the ones that are said to be stored in the Roman Catholic Vatican Library today, to this very day. Okay. We can prove the Bible, especially the New Testament, Jesus and his disciples, and also that Paul actually existed, via Bart D. Erhman's statement. This is one statement. We can verify that Jesus existed. For he stated he believes that Jesus did exist, but not the version of Jesus most Christians venerate today. We can prove the original ancient, hidden, therefore preserved for 2,000 years Galilean Aramaic writings by the disciples about Jesus. They testified to what they saw him do, miracles, the feeding of the people, healing the lepers, all this sort of stuff, and what he told them, what he taught them, made them realise, etc. They were the people who spent 24/7, 365 of his 3-year ministry hanging around him, right? For 24/7, 365, listening to him, learning from him, and then they wrote it down on those original manuscripts of the original Church of the East. And then when the congregation at Jerusalem was destroyed, or the church, we'd rather use the word congregation because they met in houses, etc., etc., right? When it was destroyed, as Jews do, they pick up their precious scrolls and they run with them. So these disciples, or a disciple, possibly Thomas, ran with them, went across different lands, like ended up in India, set up some churches there. They had a good response there. They probably went on to China, then Japan, had good responses there. So this church was established around the 1st century AD by Thomas, the original founder of it, and is possibly helped with grounding it. It was finally grounded in the 2nd century, something like that, apparently, by the help of Peter, Bartholomew, Thaddeus or Addai, and Mary of the 70. These were the 70 that followed Jesus around everywhere he went, right? So she was Mary of the 70. But people will say, yeah, but he's talking about these original manuscripts, but are they really out there? We're just making it all up. Well, we suggest that, because we just learnt this from Victor N. Alexander in one of his comments under one of his videos, that you could probably have an assisted perusal of them if you contacted a high priest, or maybe it's a patriarch, Kate, today, of the Apostolic Church of the East, whatever church he's head of. It could be the Apostolic Church of the East, could be another one somewhere else, right, in the US or something like that. Okay, if you can contact this guy, Mar Eprim, or Eprim, A-P-R-I-M, or Eprim, E-P-R-I-M, he might be able to give you a perusal of that, right? Have a look at those. Okay, he might not let you touch them and all that sort of stuff because they're very, very old, right? But he might say, here you go, here's the original ancient Galilean Aramaic manuscripts hidden and preserved for over 2,000 years. Okay? But we can't guarantee he'll agree to meet you or meet with you. But, give it a try. But you're on your own in that venture, as we saw this through a comment reply to a person who asked the Galilean Aramaic NT manuscript translator, Dean Alexander, some questions about that, and he suggested if you get hold of this particular priest or patriarchate, Mar Ephraim, then he might be able to show you those, right? Those original manuscripts. We can't guarantee it though. So you'd have to get hold of Victor N. Alexander, the Aramaic speaking translator, Victor N. Alexander from Mesopotamia, Syria. Underneath that video of his, The Story of Adam and Eve, there should be a email there. Get hold of him and see if he answers back and suggests how you'd go about doing that, right? We again can't guarantee that he'll reply, okay? But try contact him via his email posted under the video, The Story of Adam and Eve on YouTube. He may reply and suggest you how to contact that priest, patriarchate Mar Ephraim or Ephraim, the Church of the East. And again, we can't guarantee he'll answer you because he's an old man, he's about 79 or something like that, and he has his own life and problems. But you know, give it a go, try regardless. Then come back and add your comment, tell us all about it, what happened in regard to your trying below to get a look at those original Galilean manuscripts. Okay. Ask him some questions and all that sort of stuff, and we'll get back to you on those comments as soon as we can. Okay, so we would have to create videos where we look at those original Galilean, let's say we have to look at the original Tab Asherit Old Testament manuscripts from 800 BCE, hand copied by scribes, monks in Erhman, Edessa, now modern Turkey, around 800 to 900 BCE. Okay, and we'd have to look at the Galilean Aramaic manuscripts translated into the nearest English equivalent by this Victor N. Alexander, and prove all via those. We'd even look further beyond that, because people have said, oh, there's older manuscripts and all this sort of stuff way before that. Okay, so we'd have to look, see if there actually is. But as far as we know, the first language, according to the scriptures, that was spoken was that sacred scribal language of God, known by these Syrians, these Mesopotamians, etc., as Lashana Artika Cypraea, the sacred scribal language of God. Supposedly he spoke to Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden using that language, and then the men at the Tower of Babel, they spoke that one language, one to each other, right? One to another, until God apparently came down, stopped them from building this Tower of Babel, confused them by giving them different languages, and then scattered them across that geographical location. Okay. Your Americanized English Bibles might say world, but really it's the region that was discovered, that was known to them, right? They fled across that. Okay. So hopefully that's enough information there for you. If you like the idea of this video, then give us a like, subscribe to us, add your comments below this video, and then go share it with all your family, friends, neighbours and strangers. Tell them about us in this video and our other videos. They may be totally amazed in awe of what we're bringing to all, what we're revealing to all.